All right, so here we are. What's going on, streamers and streamies, viewers and viewees, to all the loyal subscribers, my God-eater fans out there, children of all ages, and viewers all across the world. You're rocking with B Tactics, right? So I want to talk about damage numbers, right? You know, we got three different, types of damage. You got, my favorite personally, Slash, because everything seems to be universally weak to Slash in the area. You have crush damage. It seems like if something's weak to it, you do monstrous numbers. And then, last but not least, thrust. Most weapons on this game, if it has Slash, normally the secondary, if there is a secondary, is thrust. You get thrust to your gun, you get a lot of thrust. Sometimes you even overlook how much thrust you have. Every gun has thrust. So that's why I personally try to go with a weapon that has Slash. You have Slash on your weapon, and you wouldn't thrust on it, or Slash and crush. And then, on the, what's it called, your gun, you got, what's it called? You got thrust, well, pierce and crush, or you can take out the crush and just have pierce. Or you can run around with, Slash and crush. No problems here, right? Now, this is right here, me trying to test out, what this guy can be weak to and where at, because I was told, enemies are weak to things, and I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm pretty sure I had an idea what I was saying, because a while back I stated, hey, if you're using the spear, right, if it's not weak to it, we'll break it, you'll be able to do some extra damage to it. So those green numbers is showing how he's getting healed. Okay, right? Now, if it's weak to something, the number will show up as yellow, right? Now, if it's neutral, it's going to be a white number. Now, if it's strong to it, which I didn't really know at first until just now when I tested this all out, it's gray. Now, I kind of have a hard time seeing colors. The only time I saw it was, I actually looked back at the video, I noticed it was gray, because I was looking at it a little slower. I was like, oh snap, that part I didn't know. So, as I'm fighting this monster, you see me trying to buff my teammates. You see some areas are getting like yellow numbers, and then some numbers, were maybe gray, but I definitely know there was white. Like I said, I can't see it clear, so my apologies, everybody. I'm using the wrong element on my gun, but I know I can get this cleared. If you notice what I've been doing, I'm not gonna lie. There's a thing, like when you block 2 hits, you can, every time you hit them, you gain health. So like, I'm actually using, the jump, the leap to them. So you have your shield out, whatever that hits you or you hit, you just hit a block. So like every time I see him do a move, I try to rush into him as fast as possible. Because that's an easy block, which allows me to hit him and get health. Now I'm only getting like 1 health, I get like 4, that's not that much. Within a fight, and you constantly get it to trigger, and you can hit a combo for at least 4 hits. That's easily, what's it called? I'm gonna say 5 health. Like you can guarantee yourself 5 health a minute. Well, maybe I'll say 4 HP every 2 minutes, just for guaranteed fighting. Now you can get more damage and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm triggering it just by trying to be on them. Like, you don't even have to be a guy that likes to block a lot. Like, especially when that one enemy that like fly up in the air, and you can like leap right to her, boom, that's clear the block. See right there, rushed at him, clear the block. Now when I hit him, I'm getting health. Now here, I'm trying to see where my yellows come up. Again, you see yellows coming up on them. Now again, no monster is weak to one, no one monster, because it varies by monster. Some monsters are going to be weak to Slash in one area, maybe crush, pierce, depending on where you aiming at and what you fighting. And honestly, I didn't think he was weak to thrust. I really didn't think this monster was weak to thrust. Shockingly, when I broke a part of him, he was weak to thrust. I did not expect that. I did not know when you broke a part of a monster, it can actually change what it's weak and or strong to. Now, I knew it was like that in God Eater 1, but I thought they got rid of it for part 3. Because I couldn't, find it in the help menu on the game. But while playing the game, I was like, oh, it's a lot more like God Eater than I thought. Because I've only really been using, Slash. and a little bit of thrust. So I got to get on my spear and play. I was like, oh, that's way different. But I actually tried on different monsters too. Like I'm only showing this monster because I saw a lot of things weak to slash, and it really caught me off balance. Now this weapon is a +7, so I'm not doing as much damage. So it doesn't have as much damage as some of the other weapons. After this, I'm actually showing the fact I had a hammer. I use a hammer on here. Hammer was like annihilate, right? So it might be more weaker to crush than it is slash, but also have to say my weapon is like a +21, and I am using all neutral weapons. See, so he's down. It is a lot quicker with the hammer, right? So again, all neutral weapons. Now this weapon is a +21. The sword I was using was a +7. It didn't really have anything in the specs for damage. This kind of does. It's at +21. It has some crush on it. And then I'm gonna use my spear afterwards. Honestly, my spear surprised me. The amount of damage I could do with it, not even that +1. I also gotta say, there's new things you can place onto your weapon. New installments to place into your weapon, right? So you give up a tiny bit of defense for a damage multiplier. Now normally I would say, yo, never give up defense for offense, right? In this scenario, like I'm a numbers person, right? You give up a little bit of defense for a huge boost in offense. It's game changing. So if you guys don't like to block anyway, and you don't probably use your light shield, make yourself a heavy shield from the DLC. And I mean, I haven't found one for slash. If there's a slash one, let me know in the comments below. I had one for crush and thrust, or sorry, crush and pierce. Now I didn't have it equipped here, but when I saw it, I had one for pierce, so I lost some defense with pierce, and then like I upgraded the damage. Then I had like a +10 piercer into 2. It does a lot of damage. It's not even +1. There's no element on it. I was shocked. You see here, right? You're not seeing many yellows. Like you see the yellows like in the feet and stuff. But I mean, like that part doesn't really matter. You're not gonna hit high damage there anyway. I wasn't trying to aim at it. I'm just, swinging like you would normally swing. See what number's gonna pop up. See what number's not gonna pop up. Because again, I'm not trying to figure out what they're weak to, where they're at. It's just I want you to see the fact that they can be weak to different elements. So far, it was weak to crush, it was weak to slash. Now I used a long sword and a hammer. You're probably like, why didn't you use the Buster Blade? The reason why I didn't want to use the Buster Blade is because it's a mixture of both. So if it was weak to one, it would show both. So like, let's say, like you saw earlier, I crushed the drill with slash, right? It wasn't weak to slash in this video. Y'all can go back and tell me if I'm wrong or not. But one, clearly it was weak. It was doing more. Well, it had yellows on the drill, and the other one didn't, right? So if I use, the Buster Cannon, it would clearly show yellow because it has the thrust and crush. Well, not thrust. Sorry, slash and crush. Oops, sorry about that. So if it has both of them, of course it's gonna show yellow, because as long as it's weak to one of the two, it's gonna pop up. Now that's why I like the gun, right? So if you put like a crush modifier on it, it's gonna show 2 different numbers. For a weapon, it's not gonna show 2 different numbers. I don't want it to, honestly, because then I might get myself confused trying to figure out what is what. I like it just the way it is. But I guess it would make it easier too, because you can see, what lights up and what doesn't, so you know if it's weak to both, weak to one. That might actually help. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe you would want that, but I just don't want it personally. Now see how I'm wailing out with the hammer still? You ain't see any yellows pop up. Now again, it doesn't mean it's not weak to it, because it clearly was. Like I was hitting them in areas and the yellow popped up. Now I had more success with my slash on this. Then the mixture afterwards is honestly, I think I had success with thrust just like I did crush. So I say this monster has more weak spots for slash than it does crush and pierce. But again, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong weapon. You play how you want to play it, right? Now look right here, right? Right there, I hit it that time, and I hit the drill. You saw it light up as what's it called? As yellow, so it has to be weak there to crush right now. Now some areas, were weak, to slash, and some were weak to crush. So you would think it can't really be weak to thrust right now, right? Because I already used 2 different weapons, and you clearly saw that they were both having weaknesses. So what are the chances of them being able to use thrust and have like weaknesses there? As you saw right there, you see the damage coming up. Now I don't have crush or slash on the weapons. I don't even know if you can mod that. I don't know. Maybe you can. I'm not modding. We can ask the modder in the community to see if he can do it, but I'm not trying to ask him because I don't want that. I just want to know exactly how it works. But I hit the tail and it was weak, or maybe I didn't hit the tail. I thought I did. You see it at 164? I'm hitting in the area. It has some weak to thrust. Now maybe it's because iron is there, and I know charisma. It said it helps the team be more effective with the with things in general, like with their skills. Now I don't know if that's gonna help my skill be yellow. I don't know, but I was just trying to strike around, and this thing was also weak to thrust. Now, if it's a different monster, like there are some monsters weaker to some things than resistance in certain areas. Like it was one that we would run the assault missions a lot, and we would spam this one monster. I'm telling you now, if you didn't have slash or crush, it was resistant to thrust. Like I knew it was resistant to thrust, so I didn't want to use a spear and go against it because it's like I'm not gonna do much damage. So I had to pray for someone to break a part off it to say, hey, now I can do more damage. Was it huge? No, but an extra 400 don't hurt nobody, Instead of doing like 100 damage, I'm able to hit them for like 500. Yeah, I'd rather do 500 than 100. So a lot of times I pull out the gun and shoot. Now again, it was resistant to thrust, pierce. So when the pierce would happen, I was like, dang, okay, so I'll do limited damage with that, but it was weak to the crush, so it was almost like it was just a regular, like a neutral hit, which is fine, but I just want to do as much damage as I can do, So I know not to use, thrust against that monster. Now, if I want to use, I also was using sword there. Now I was like, I'm better off using sword against, the other secondary enemies, because I do way more damage. I keep them off the main people who had, crush weapons. The hammer and the buster blade. For all means, let them be great. That's all I was trying to do, right? So here, this is, again, I'm not using elements on these weapons. Now on the gun, yes, I was using elemental bullets. But that's not what I was really focused on. I was really focused more on the weapon. But I just saw right here, different monsters are going to be weaker in different locations. I don't really want to get too much into guides about this. Some Zero is actually going to be making guides on this, so you can watch her video. Actually, I'll link her in the description below. But if y'all don't even want to link that, you can just write SUM, SUM0, ZERO, put it together. Search, bada bang, bada boom. You can find her there. She's going to be making vids on this too. I just want to give general speaking of it. She's going to go more in depth, by monster, which would be great, wonderful. You may have a particular weapon you like, so when she's doing it, she'll even tell you, where you should be hitting the monster at for breaks to do your maximum damage. I know myself, since I have slash and thrust on swords, I can go to areas that have slash and areas that have thrust. Now, I would do more for the slash because I have a slash modifier around my weapon. Some of them. Other than that, it's going to be neutral. So whatever is weak to, if I can find a slash or a thrust, that's why I want to aim at. But hey, this is your boy Tactics. I'm looking to find more players to play the New Game Plus with. Heard it's supposed to be a lot harder. Y'all can add me. It's btactic_cc, the same as the YouTube channel. You probably see it in the comment section. Not the comment, the description below. You can put your name down too. Maybe somebody want to add you, and we can get this going. We have a community in the PlayStation community. Yes, I'm on PlayStation, so if y'all on the Switch or the PC, My apologies. I don't have it for those consoles. On the PS4. I wish it was crossplay. I know PS4 is allowing crossplay, so maybe they'll make it crossplay at some point. But hey, I can't change that. It's your man B Tacky. Hope y'all had a wonderful time. Hope y'all learned something. I know I learned something. Y'all take care. Be easy. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out, everybody. Beats fire though, ain't it?